A potted history. Brooches, beads, and gold rings stashed in a Viking vessel 1,000 years ago are revealed for the first time. Getting it to the farm. Metal detectorist discovered amazing Viking hoard, including a mysterious silver pot, in Galloway, Scotland in 2014. The pot containing the precious items was scanned, and now these significant objects inside have been revealed. It was the largest hoard of Viking treasure ever to be found in Britain, including a mysterious metal pot that promised to expose more precious artifacts. Now, this little pot's secrets have finally been revealed almost 2 years after it was discovered, with the items stashed inside the vessel for 1,000 years revealed in all their glory. The rare pieces, discovered in a field in Galloway, Scotland, include a silver brooch from Ireland and silk from around modern-day Istanbul, as well as gold and crystal. The treasure hoard includes possibly the largest silver pot from the Carolingian dynasty discovered, but it is the exotic objects hidden inside that are the focus of attention now that they've been cleaned and shown off in all their glory. They date from the 9th and 10th centuries and are part of a wider hoard of about 100 pieces. Richard Wellender, of Historic Environment Scotland, said, "Before removing the objects, we took the rather unusual measure of having the pot CT scanned in order that we could get a rough idea of what was in there and best plan the delicate extraction process. That exercise offered us a tantalizing glimpse, but didn't prepare me for what was to come. These stunning objects provide us with an unparalleled insight into what was going on in the minds of the Vikings in Galloway all those years ago. They tell us about the sensibilities of the time, reveal displays of regal rivalries, and some of the objects even betray an underlying sense of humor, which Vikings aren't always renowned for." The items were found by metal detectorist Derek McLennan in September 2014, who painstakingly searched an unidentified area of Church of Scotland land in Dumfries and Galloway for more than a year in the hunt for treasure. The artifacts, considered to be of significant international importance, are now with the Treasure Trove Unit, which is responsible for assessing the value of the hoard on behalf of the Office of Queen's and Lord Treasurer's Remembrancer. The hoard will then be offered for allocation to Scottish museums, with Mr. McLennan eligible for the market value of the find, a cost that will be met by the successful museum. Mr. McLennan explained that he was left speechless when he made the discovery, and was so emotional that, when he called his wife, she thought he'd been in a car accident. Within the hoard is an early Christian solid silver cross. It was not found inside the pot, but among dozens of silver arm rings and ingots 2 feet deep in soil. The cross is engraved with decorations that experts say are highly unusual. Mr. McLennan believes they may represent the 4 Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. He said, "I believe they resemble the carvings you can see on the remnants of St. Cuthbert's coffin in Durham Cathedral. For me, the cross opens up the possibility of an intriguing connection between Lindisfarne and Iona." The excavation was undertaken by Andrew Nicholson, the county archaeologist, and shortly afterwards, Mr. McLennan found a second signal indicating buried treasure. Further investigations uncovered a second trove of higher quality than the first, including the silver pot from the Carolingian dynasty. It was likely 100 years old and a precious heirloom when it was first buried, holding the brooch and other items. Mr. McLennan said at the time, "We don't know exactly what's in the pot, but I hope it could reveal who these artifacts belong to, or at least where they came from." Keen detectorist, Reverend Dr. David Bartholomew, a Church of Scotland minister of rural Galloway charge, and Mike Smith, pastor of an Alm Pentecostal church in Galloway, were with Mr. McLennan when he made the find. Reverend Dr. Bartholomew said, "We were searching elsewhere when Derek initially thought he discovered a Viking gaming piece. Short time later, he ran over to us waving a silver arm ring and shouting, 'Viking!' And he added, 'It was tremendously exciting, especially when we noticed the silver cross lying face downwards. It was poking out from under a pile of silver ingots and decorated arm rings with a finely wound silver chain still attached to it. It was a heart-stopping moment when the local archaeologist turned it over to reveal rich decoration on the other side.' Mr. McLennan is no stranger to finding treasure, having been part of a group that discovered more than 300 medieval silver coins shortly before Christmas in 2013. Scotland's Culture Secretary Fiona Hyslop said of the Viking hoard, 'The Vikings were well known for having raided these shores in the past, but today we can appreciate what they have left behind with this wonderful addition to Scotland's cultural heritage. It's clear that these artifacts are of great value in themselves, but their greatest value will be in what they can contribute to our understanding of life in early medieval Scotland, and what they can tell us about the interaction between the different people in these islands at the time. The Dumfries hoard opens up a fascinating window on the formative period of the story of Scotland, and just goes to show how important our archaeological heritage in Scotland continues to be.' Agreement between the landowners, the Church of Scotland General Trustees, and the finder, Mr. McLennan, has been reached concerning money. Secretary to the General Trustees, David Robertson, said, 'Any money arising from this will first and foremost be used for the good of the local parish. We recognize Derek is very responsible in pursuing his interest, but we do not encourage metal detecting on church land unless detailed arrangements have been agreed beforehand with the General Trustees. The exact location of the find is being kept secret, and the Scottish Government, Treasure Trove Unit, and Historic Scotland are all working to preserve the site while its full significance is being determined. Experts at the unit describe the find as one of the most significant Viking hoards ever discovered in Scotland.
And I feel like New York City. Get me to the farm.